All right. We're up. Go
Go live.
We're up.
All right. Nice. All
All
right.
right.
Still a bit dark, but what can you do?
Okay. Ready. So, start this off. So, so this is Jim and Eric. We haven't been on over a pint in a while due to illnesses, life, business,
Due to technical difficulties.
some technical difficulties. But we wanted to jump on here. We are live as well as this will be recorded and on our socials and YouTube channel. We just want to jump on, have a quick update, give everybody an idea of what we have on the go, plus kind of what's going on in the world of real estate.
Yeah.
Trying to figure
all of those things.
That's better.
Yeah, we're looking at everything from new things coming in effect as far as programs that are out about stuff that are being offered, as well as some new legislation that's coming in the tenancy program, like the Tenancy Act. Some new stuff taking effect at the end of the month. We got a bunch of new stuff coming. We're not going to go into all the detail right now. We're just going to do a little hello, give you a little taste of things to come. We are still really rocking the podcast, the community game plan. Over a pint, we have some people lined up. We're just trying to get it all on lockdown, really.
Yes, exactly. Our last podcast actually it's been doing really well.
Oh, nice.
Getting lots of views and seeing the stats now coming in, so it's been good. Definitely, we're looking forward to doing more of those and more community spotlights and just giving a voice to our community members and showcasing them.
Yeah, which also means if anybody wants to jump on in and be a part of this and they have something to say, feel free to drop us a message and let us know, and we'd be happy to help you highlight. So, I have a question for one of us, mainly me. Let us know in the chat. All right, Eric, what do you got going?
Yeah. Life.
Life.
Well, just in general, work, of course, trying to find some new clients and help the current clients. And soccer's in full swing for the girls. So we're doing U18A girls, looking after the program for the summer, which is going to be interesting. What else? Of course, I'm heading to Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah. So you're going to have to look after anything that comes up, but that's all good.
Hey, I like it. I like staying busy.
Do you want to touch on the new tenancy stuff? I can bring that up on the screen as well as we talk.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just something I was puttering around, and I don't know if everybody or anybody actually follows it, but that's the military banking. I'll get to that in a second. Give me 1 second. It is called allnovascotia.com. I get a lot of my information as it's just like coming up from allnovascotia.com. There's always changes going on. So I like to try to stay in the loop. Yeah. Because again, how can we help people if we're not following what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I opened my All Nova Scotia today, and there was a bunch of stuff about how there are going to be some changes going on in the Tenancy Act, which obviously it's going to be stuff that both landlords should make sure they know, because they have no choice but to follow it. Yep. And that tenants should know, because where they do have a lot of rights, there are also policies that they need to follow as well. Everything from the cap seems to be jumping into place. A recent cap remains in place until the 31st of December, 2027.
Yeah, we should also note, like, these new changes are coming into effect April 30th of
Yeah.
2025, as you see at the top of our screen there too. Um, just in case you missed that, or you're reading this or looking at this later.
Then starting on the 1st of January 2026, rent can only increase 5%. So expect, if you're renting, to get a rent increase January 2nd of 5%, as well, or as soon as your new lease comes up. So it's
Yeah.
just a little money I'd start saving now, if that's the case, if you have that extra money, which unfortunately not everybody does, which has been leading
No,
to our issues with people trying to find places to rent.
that's right.
Which all ties back to that lovely conversation we had a while back with Chantal Jordans about, if you got a couple of you who can't keep playing with this rent increase, have you thought about maybe purchasing a home as a group, or
Yeah.
a duplex thing?
Cohabitation is it's actually hearing and seeing more of it more and more. So it's a couple friends, two or three friends going in, purchasing a house together,
Yeah,
combining their funds, and having a legal agreement for their exit strategy. Basically, is the big one.
yeah. One of the things about that I'm noticing about this is the eviction timelines. Now, rent, if it's 3 days late, you can be served an eviction notice
Hmm.
with 10 days to pay the rent or dispute the non-payment. So that's a really big thing, is it's changing how long before that notice of eviction can come slap on to people. So it's just a good thing to watch. Um, and yeah. I really, honestly, I suggest probably hitting this link if you are renting and reading it, or if you're renting your home, or if you are somebody who is renting,
Hmm.
because this seems like it's getting a lot stricter. And basically, I don't want to find people homeless, but at the same time, I think everybody should know their rights on both sides of anything, because there's always
Yeah,
two sides, right?
I'm gonna put the link to this right into both of our comment sections below this video.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I don't know if you had a chance to quickly like peruse over it or anything, but yeah. So landlords must provide tenants with the contact information in a lease. So they need to be able to contact their landlords as much as their landlords need to be able to contact them. So it's really starting to seem like it's being more of a two-sided, two responsibility kind of thing coming up here.
Hmm.
Again, it's not all a complete change. Some of the stuff was there already, but I have actually dealt with a lot of people who are in renting situations, whether they're buying and they're like, hey, how much notice do I have to give? And can I close before my rent, like before my term is over, and slowly move in, kind of thing. Just, it's really nice to know your rights. I really do, actually. I don't know about you, but personally, what I tell people, since your first mortgage payment does not come out the day of your closing, you have until the next month for it on
Hmm.
most cases, but it's never like the first couple days. Is I always suggest that people terminate at the end of the month, of wherever they are, so that they have that time to move their things from their apartment into their new home. Because sometimes when you're buying a new home, stuff happens and you don't close on closing day, and you don't want to have your moving truck parked outside and nowhere to live because you can't get into your new house. So,
Yeah, yeah. I've always tried to suggest we have the closing date the middle of a month. They
mm,
give their notice so that they're out the end of that month, so they have like a 2 week gap to kind of move, clean, do everything.
yeah,
It's always worked well, except
yeah,
for new
nice.
constructions. New constructions I've had a few issues with, but that's a different story.
Yeah, that's always a story. Um, then you got
Your
your
turn.
again, the incentive program for building a second unit on your property to rent out. I still need to talk to somebody about that. I got to talk to my accountant and see what the rules on that are, because as always, I'm worried about capital gains. Does your primary home end up taking on capital gains if you do that? If anybody knows, feel free to post it in here. But this is something, just letting you guys know that it's out there. But like anything, always make sure you know both sides of the story. Personally, that's what I'm doing. This is more of a research what we have coming on in the future for you, because I don't know how that plays out. I don't know if you know, Eric, but
No, not completely yet.
yeah,
It's ever changing, and
yeah, everything's so new.
yeah.
But
And I mean, the big thing, federal government or the federal election could change things too, quite a bit.
right, right, and that's it. Like the elections are going to change a lot, because again, it's right now. Personally, I have that daycare subsidies that I've been getting, and again, there's not all parties are built the same, so not all things are as important to everyone. So that's going to be a big change, seeing what that happens. Just so we all know, we don't really get into political discussions, period, let alone on here.
No.
But it is what it is.
I guess I didn't go live there. Ha! Now I am.
Hey, you're live again. What did I have there? All right, I did a post recently. I don't know if you saw, about the down payment. Whatchamacallit, the down payment program.
Yep.
The assistance program, the initiative that they have running right now, with like an interest-free loan of up to 5% on the purchase of a new property.
Yep.
So that's something helpful. Definitely helpful. Again, there's always a catch. Not everybody's going to qualify for it, but if you don't know if you qualify or not, it's worth looking into, because 5% of a home purchase, or like of your fees towards a home purchase, is a pretty good thing to have. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to see if I can find the.
yeah,
I mean,
here we go.
overall, oh, you found it?
I have found what I have for it. Like, some of the eligibility stuff is a total household income of under 145,000 a
Yeah.
year. The credit score of 650 or higher. Obviously, it's going to require a pre-approval, and it needs to be for a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident residing in Nova Scotia. The price limits, Halifax. So in the HRM to East Hants, it's only up to properties of 570,000. Then you've got the Hants, Annapolis, the South Shore, 375,000. And Yarmouth County, northern and eastern regions are $300,000. That's obviously showing the difference of the costs of homes, that you can buy it in the different areas, which also the difference between what a home is selling for in the HRM versus Yarmouth are quite different. That's why there's that big difference in price. And I believe you actually have something for what places are selling for, like the averages today, don't you?
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up here. So yeah, so just get my screen here. We'll look at bring some info stats up. So I mean, this screen here, I basically just did, a quick over all price ranges, only looking at single family homes. This does not include condos or vacant land. Basically, like, new listings, you can see we're kind of on the edge, leaning up, which is typical for this time of year. I always found, after March break, things usually picked up for us in real estate, and you can kind of see this now. At the end of March, we had 502 active listings in the Halifax Dartmouth area.
That's
Total
nice to see.
sales. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually nice to see because, I mean, especially when you looked in December, at the end of December, we had 176 active listings.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and
pretty
if you go
darn low.
back to like last year, we were down to as few as like 2 to 30. Like it was
Yeah, I
painful, but
mean, December 2023, we're at 143 active listings, and this is just the Halifax Dartmouth. I mean, I can pull this up if we looked at all of Nova Scotia, so the entire MLS, so all of
yeah,
Nova
there we go.
Scotia. You're at the end of December 2023, we had 392 active listings across all of Nova Scotia, Cape Breton down to Digby. Um, Move fast forward a year, December of 2024, it went up slightly. There was 431 active, and as of the end of March of 2025, we're 1,202 active listings across Nova Scotia, which is still really low.
Yeah, well, what I'm looking at
Compared to,
it,
like,
there
even
are
March of 2022, we're at 13.
yeah, there are approximately, just to put it on, 493,140 145 homes. Like, yeah, so that's not a big percentage. But
So,
and
but also, I mean, when we look at the total, where was it? Close prices. So the average close prices, again, this is looking at the all of Nova Scotia, so the entire MLS, only single family homes. You can see we've actually gone on the rise. So since January, our average sale price was 462, 477. By the end of March, we went up to 490, 647. So you can see, I mean, the low inventory is still pushing prices up. We are still seeing multiple offer situations, and there's still buyers there, but it's just the lack of inventory is what's pushing our average sale price up.
yeah, how much of it with the percentage of original price?
Hmm.
If we go to that, because I actually know, yes, we are getting multiple listed or multiple offer situations, but yeah,
Hmm.
see, we're actually in the point where right now we're looking at under a hundred
Slightly,
percent.
yeah. So
So
slightly
there
under
are
asking.
people getting under asking right now, and I've been noticing that a lot. Is
Yeah.
when it comes down to actually pricing a home. It act, in my opinion, what I've been doing is actually back to the point where I'm trying to determine whether pricing high versus pricing low, because with a market that's getting less than, if you price pretty much on the head, like if you're right there, if you're on that bridge,
Hmm.
do you go high or low? Because if you're going to get under because you're so close, should you go a bit higher knowing you're going to get under, or do you try to draw in that multiple offer situation? And where's the balance on that?
Yeah. Yeah. It is hard because, I mean, I'm thinking back to like 2010, 2011 when we were in our sellers or in a buyer's market. Everything was going under. Average days on market were over 120. What's our average days on market right now? Actually, days on market
Yeah,
average. So you're looking, yeah. I mean, you're 54
it's
days average at the end of March.
yeah, it went up pretty high over, like, because again, look at like
January was
2022,
67.
2023, like it had this, like it's really gone up
Yeah.
comparatively. Like we were at the point, obviously, like 2020, 21, it was like
Well, yeah.
one
You go
day
back.
on market. But
No,
when you
that.
actually, yeah, and again, this is the
Yeah.
entire
June
area,
22. Yeah, exactly. If I broke the stat back down into just
just the
Halifax.
HRM. Yeah.
Halifax area. So, our lowest,
Yeah.
June 2021, our average day on market was
It's
11
11.
days.
Yeah.
Right now, Halifax Dartmouth is 35,
Yeah. You're
which is
looking at a
pretty
month.
average.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty normal.
Yeah.
consider, I mean, back 2020, I mean, January of 20, this was pre-pandemic. That was
Mhm.
74 days.
Well, even if you go into the like between 200 and 5, like if you jump to the prices, all of a
Yeah.
sudden it really anything on the lower end of the price range is it's still going quicker
Yeah.
as
So even
long as
the
it's habitable.
yeah, like right now, that 200 to 450 range, the average day on market's 24.
Yeah.
Um, say we went 450 and up, then your average days is 37. So yeah, anything over 450 or even 500, you're probably going to be on the market a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Not always the case. I mean, my last listing was on the market. I think we were 3 4 days, and we got multiple offers, and it was in the 600 range asking
Yeah.
price. So it's not always the case, but again, these are just average numbers, right? It's the average for the market. There's always something that could happen that makes a difference. But
Mhm.
that's why we study this stuff, and that's why we always are looking at this information.
Oh, exactly. And again, is somebody what balances out the option or like the averages too is the condition. And I
Yeah,
feel like there are some people who you're dealing with, and they're like, well, this one on my street sold for this one around the corner sold for this is what I want. And then you're in the house and you're like, you're you're f- you're not comparables. Like you're
yeah,
two very different even styles of home. We can't pit that house against you. And then condition of the house, or I know for a while that really didn't play too much of a factor. People just wanted in,
yes,
but it does seem like people really have they're back to wanting what they want.
yeah.
Like they want what they're paying for. They don't want to pay to come in and say redo all the floors
No,
or to come in and put a
buyers,
new roof on.
yeah, buyers have a little more choice now, and
Yeah.
we're not, as we saw just with the average days on market. They don't have to make a decision in 72 hours or less.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
they can actually take a little bit of time, do some research, make sure they're organized on the mortgage side of things, and getting prepared. So it is much easier for buyers right now. Um, One question, and I know it's been a topic that's come up a couple times, is sellers also looking to purchase
Yeah.
and the process. That's been a hot topic I found recently, lately. Um, did you have an opinion? What are you thinking on that? Like, I know I have my way of doing things. So if I have a seller, they're thinking of buying, or they know they're going to buy, but they don't know when to sell. Um, and buy at the same time.
Hmm.
The strategies behind all that type of stuff.
Yeah, there's always that's always a carry on for people. I always send people to talk to their lender first,
Mhm.
because I'm a port mortgages, bridged financing. That's always something I suggest that they look into.
Yeah,
That way, it's a no concern, no issue kind of thing. Other than that, like, do you have a place to go? Like, so make sure you close first, but make sure it's solid, and then you give yourself a couple days, like 2 days, for the
yeah,
closing on the property you're moving into.
yeah,
That's usually how I do it. There's, like I said, there's been the cases where people have been like the bank's like, well, you're using us again, or whoever their lender is, so they're willing to hold the funds for 2 days
yeah,
and say, don't worry about it. We will give you this money for 2 days, but so you can move into this new house. But when that, like, but your other one needs a closing date of no more than like 4 days or no more than a week
yeah,
to get in, kind of thing. So,
yeah,
um, and that's just it. People don't want to be living in a hotel. They definitely don't want to be homeless for 2 days. So it's about where do you go, and you can't really close without the money. So if you need to sell your house to move into a house, it's only really one option. If the bank's not really willing to give you the money in advance, is close on your house before you close on the house you're buying.
yeah,
So that's how I look at that.
yeah.
What did Dylan say here? Unsure what the use cases were for the initiative / subsidy for building rental units on your property. What the use cases were. Dylan, I'm not sure what you're asking there, bud. What the use cases were for the initiative subsidy for building rental units. Really, the whole purpose behind it is, if that's what you're getting at, is it was just to try to build more places for people to rent. When the government thought it up. Oh, what did they picture people would do with it? Yeah, literally is I think they were hoping people would turn their own property into a double unit, like somewhere that a student could rent. Like you build, again, because the cost is like it's expensive to build something and then hook it up to water and then all of that stuff. So they were hoping, obviously, people will do that, hook it up, power it up, and use it as a source of income for themselves, but at the same time, turning it into like an in-law suite that's not part of the current house. So like a semi-detached, but completely detached. It's just two properties on one, on one, on one like PID.
Yeah.
And that's great. Like I said, it's the offset for you using that money that they give you to let people is now the city has more places to house people. But at the same time, my concern is, does that turn your current home into a resource for income? And if so, does that remove your ability to be safe from capital gains on your own private property? Thank you, Dylan. Good question. Sorry it took me so long to try to figure out what you were saying. But I don't know. I don't know. What's your opinion on that, Eric?
I agree. It's interesting. Like I'm kind of following in Fredericton right now. The government, the city is blanketing rezoning and allowing these second structures on, city lots and everything. I haven't gotten into the weeds of it, but I know from my experience of working and selling in Fredericton, to add a second unit onto some of these city lots, the traffic's already horrible. The services are already horrible. So now you're going to add another household onto these properties. It's just, I feel it, and I know many of my fellow real estate consultants and realtors in Fredericton aren't happy. But yeah, the government just basically said, Nova Scotia's way about it has gone a little better, but they just blanketed. They're planning to rezone everything. It just doesn't make sense. Like you're gonna have, so much more traffic into these subdivisions that can't handle the current traffic. But that's something that I know it's something that we'll probably be talking about more in the future too with them, because it will affect, our market, I think, if things like that happen, because if that government does it, then our government may do it, and I don't think that's a positive necessarily.
No. Well, and again, I think, like Dylan said, like infrastructure is a consideration, but that's something we're dealing with here regardless. Like with the new apartments that are getting thrown up, and like luckily the Bedford bypass was made, but then again, there are all communities that are being built off of that now as well, in between here and like Cole Harbor even. Like, so is it good now? Yeah, the traffic is great. Like you can drive down there. It's still tight on Magazine, but you can drive through there at the right time of day. I can get to like Cole Harbor in no time whatsoever with no traffic in taking it, as long as I'm going against the work. Like for people like us, for couriers, anybody who goes against the grain of traffic, like not 9 to 5, they're pretty sweet. But then all of a sudden, we're looking at they're building up on the Bedford Highway. Like I cannot get what's considered a 14-minute drive generally, like when the streets are bare, in probably less than 45 minutes during the busy times. And it's because there's a lot of stuff being built between Bedford and the city center. That's just so much more volume than we have space, I guess.
Right.
Is the
And that's the concern. I mean, our population has continued to grow and is going to continue.
Especially with these we keep getting new contracts, like the new ship contracts are coming in again. The more ships we get, the more people we're going to have building, the more we don't have the manpower. We don't have enough people in it because unfortunately we still are an aged population for the most part. We have a high end of retirees versus like a workforce. So we need to bring in more, but at the same time, we've got the retirees still living here. Which don't leave. I love you, retirees. Mom, dad, stay. But build cheaper outside the city center. Yeah, that is a thing. Unfortunately, one thing I find a lot of people forget is we are a university province, and you can go so far outside of the city, but the closer you get to a community college that specializes or a university, the prices skyrocket as if you were building in Bedford or Halifax or buying in Bedford or Halifax. So again, it comes to services. You could move outside of the city, but if you want your services and you don't want to be driving an hour and a half to get to them, you still have to take into account what services are available. But yeah, thanks, Dylan. Your payback for all of my messaging you on your stream some days is really paying out here.
On fire today for us.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
We
literally come on this just like we've always said. It's unscripted. It's authentic. It's we want to give you information that you want to hear, not just us randomly talking and like some people.
Well, here's a fun thing. Pull up your stat sheet again with the Halifax, and let's throw a couple new lines in there. Like let's throw in with Halifax some of the surrounding within like 45. So throw in like the Lake Echo area 31. Just put it in add an area. Go leave the Halifax as it is. Go to add area next to it. And add like Lake Echo into there. Or so just like type in area 31, or you can search for it too.
So Lawrencetown, Lake Echo, Porter's Lake area.
Throw that one in. Throw in another add area and maybe go Enfield.
Okay. District.
Like just jump outside of the Halifax Dartmouth main area. I'll even do Glasgow, but that's further than I go. I love Annie Ganesh. Or like even Mount Uniacke, Windsor. Just type it in there. It should show up when you type it.
No. Windsor. What area is Windsor?
That'd
be East Hants Cold.
East Hants, West Hants.
Colchester West area?
Let's go with East Hants. All right. Let's shorten the time so it's not so big. Let's make it more recent instead of 5 years.
So we'll look at 3 years stats.
So following the lines here.
So this one, I'll just make sure I get all the stats all the same. So single family.
Thank you, Grams.
Oh. Grams in.
Grams, good old Linda Smartin, throwing in her 2 cents worth. Our thoughts on the new city putting 600 affordable housing in the old Shannon Park, which includes the new park system, the stores, the shops, everything they're talking. Personally, I had been saying from the get-go that Shannon Park, because the buildings had to come down, the asbestos and all of that, it needed to happen. I was saying right then there needed to be affordable housing and not set by let's just build whatever and then people who move here will real affordable housing with the parks in the area, not building a block like again happened in New York and in the States so long ago, where they build a development project like for people who couldn't for low budgets, but make affordable houses at a rate that people can actually pay for. I've been saying Shannon Park should have been that from the get-go. Like, I was not a component of turning it into a stadium area
Yeah,
or any of that. Like,
yeah,
it's ideal. It's
it is.
close to everything. It's
Yeah,
close to works. And I know the problem is it's a very high, like, it could be a high value area. You could throw in really expensive condos and people would move there for the proximity and the water but what it
but
was a military base. It was
yeah,
affordable housing. Turn it back into what it was.
yeah, and that's the issue though. Like Ocean, what is it, Ocean View, Ocean something, whatever those apartments are there now, they're getting tore down, every single one of them,
Mm,
and they're not going to stay. Unfortunately, um,
affordable.
affordable. That's the word
You know.
I'm looking for. As
Uh,
actually, we have a friend that lives in there right now. I haven't talked to them recently, but I know they would have got that last notice that just went out. I think I forget if it was a year. They were all given just basically a year recently. Ocean Bridge, yeah,
yeah, it's the old Wallace Heights, exactly.
yeah, yeah.
But that's
Oh,
it. Like,
I
that's
remember being there. I played hockey at the old Shannon Park rink there. Like that was I had friends from my military that through hockey or through my dad that was in the military that all lived down there.
mhm.
It was actually it was really fun as a kid, go down there and see my friends and feel like because it did really feel like the old military bases that I've lived on in the past too.
Well, that's it. I had friends living in there, as like my family, my parents lived in Shannon Park. Like, so when I first moved back home from Germany, it was still that military place, and a
Yeah.
lot of my friends lived there. And all of a sudden, when I went to visit a friend who was living there as an apartment, I was just I was blown away. I'm like, do you have the small cubby hole in the basement? Like, I knew these places. But and the soccer field, like, I don't know how hard I pushed to get that turned back into a soccer field for multiple reasons. Like, first, I loved it there. Like, I played on those fields so much.
Yeah.
But it's also what it had become is like the train road, when you'd hear about the coyotes.
Mhm.
Because I even remember when I was working security in that area, the coyotes that would come down, follow the train, would be in the overgrowth.
Yeah.
Like, that soccer field became like a hunting ground for the coyotes to go, and like coyotes and foxes to go after cats and
Yeah.
people's small pets. Like, it just wasn't safe as an overgrowth.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably
But
one of the worst sales the government did, really.
yeah, I think it really, and I think affordable housing, the incentives towards it need to be aimed not at just building something, because what we've been seeing is they build more expensive things hoping people in the less expensive places will move into the
Mhm.
more expensive ones and free up the cheaper ones. But that's not what's been happening. They hold on to them, they rent them out, or like or really they don't move because they can't afford it. So what ends up
That's right.
happening is we just have people who stay where they are, and there's nothing wrong with just doing renovations to stay where you are, because some people love where they are, but there are those people who don't like where they are but can't afford to go anywhere else.
That's right.
So let's see. It was on a 50-year lease to D&D. Shannon Park was owned by the government. A federal government just sold province Ocean Breeze is still private. There we go. Good old Grams. Dylan knows people in there too. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, as our last thing just showed, when you had it up, Outer
bring it back up.
regions are not selling for as cheap, like so much cheaper than city places like they used to be really cheap to buy in certain areas, but the prices are now pushing out as you go. Like to live in Bedford, then Sackville, like Sackville's a main one. Sackville used to be an affordable
Oh, that was your
area,
first time home buyer. Yeah, first time home buyer area. And
right?
same with Cole Harbour. Cole Harbour's
Mm-hmm.
even
They
drastically
were
changed.
comparable.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, so basically here, I mean, I have average sale prices. So again, I just made it single family houses for all three zones, all price ranges. Your green line is your Halifax Dartmouth area, so your average is 630,000. Uh, Lawrencetown, Lake Echo, Porters Lake, the dark blue line is averaging 591. And then as you get outside the city, you're still over 450, like 486 for that East Hands, Colchester West area.
Yeah, I'm curious. Can you pop up Truro?
Yeah, we certainly can. True. We'll do the district. I'm going to get rid of this one just because it's getting messy. So our
Yep.
red line here. So you can see Truro. You can still get under $350,000 in the Truro area.
Yeah.
I know I've had a couple clients that have bought in that Truro area, and some of them work in Halifax or in Dartmouth area, and they take that 40-minute drive.
Commute. Yeah.
But to get under $350,000, this is where our first time home buyers are starting to move, is like into that 30 to 45-minute drive outside of Halifax city proper.
Yeah. Hit it up on single family, not all property type, would you?
Oh yeah, I didn't move that one.
There we go.
Still, three
Oh
three
yeah.
three. It didn't make much of a
But
difference.
look at Lake Echo, where my family moved when we moved here, and it was I've seen Lake Echo selling left, right, and center all since I was a kid. There has never been a time that, like when I in my youth, that living in Lake Echo was comparable to living in Halifax as far as a price. Not even close. Like you could get it used to be people would go and buy on a lake other than in Porters Lake, on Porters Lake itself. That's always been pricey. But to buy in Lake Echo, it's just
How did
not
I
the
get
same.
unmuted?
You got unmuted. Now you're unmuted.
I
Well,
don't know. I don't. I was like, well, I don't know. I couldn't hear anything, and I was like, I thought I was talking, and then I wasn't. Oh, head cold. I want this head cold to go away so bad.
yeah, get rid of that before you go away, would you?
Yeah, we're leaving.
Oh,
Like
Linda.
other
Are there
listings
listings
under
under 500 in the graft areas?
which craft areas?
So just
In
go
these?
for right now. We're in all prices.
Hmm.
So change one of your go to custom price, like and hit hit that, um, and just change something so it's no higher than like where you have 200 to 200. It's not really doesn't exist. So let's go 300 to 500. So 499.
499.
Yeah,
It'll let me.
yeah. And then click done on that, and then click the 300 to 499.9. So what are we looking at availability for the price range, single family?
So homes for sale. So the green. So I just did that under the Halifax Dartmouth area under the green line.
That'll change all of them though, right? So
No, it didn't.
oh,
So
okay,
I'd
yeah,
have to go
change
in
all of
here.
them
So
then.
I'll
Yeah,
go and customize that. So that what did we say? 300
300 to
to 499.
499.9. Yeah.
Done that one and Truro customize.
So luckily, we know there will be some in
300
Truro.
or no, yeah, 499. Okay. So yeah, so active homes for sale. So right now, as of the end of March, so we're 10 days into April, so these stats are a little behind because this doesn't update quite the same. But yeah, at the end of March, there was 730 listings, single family homes. Oops, no. Okay, so
Yeah, there we go.
let's make sure we get all these correct. Okay, yeah. Okay, so between 300 and 499.
Yeah.
There's 68 homes active. Lawrencetown, Lake Echo, Porters Lake, there was 5. Truro, Bible Hill area, there was 55.
Now let's up that and go into what a home probably would be. Let's see with 3 bedrooms, because let's bump like the cottages and stuff like that out of there.
Yeah, so minimum 3 bedrooms,
Yeah.
minimum, let's say 2 baths as well. Make sure they're all the same. And 2 baths. Okay, so they're all the same. So we're still in that 300 to
Mm-hmm.
499 price range. Single family houses, minimum 3 bedroom, minimum 2 bath, all square footage. So yeah, there's 0 in Lawrencetown, Lake Echo, Porters Lake,
Mm-hmm.
14 in the Truro Bible Hill area, and 28 in the Halifax Dartmouth area.
And let's look at their listing prices. Their average prices for listing.
Percentage of list price or the
No.
original?
So
The original.
yeah, what they're priced at. Yeah, or we
So
can
the
check
original
price,
list.
one or the other.
Yeah. So yeah, so this is basically the average of the original price list. I mean, these are sale prices, wouldn't they?
Your price of original of the medium. Yeah, price per list.
Or percentage of list price.
Putting sales.
These would be sales data, though.
No, that's their sales. We're looking for the actual. Oh, just go to closed prices. That'll show what they're selling for.
Yeah,
There.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so end of March, the average sale price for this criteria that we have set was 444,000. Lawrencetown, Lake Echo, Porters Lake area was actually 477, and Truro Bible Hill was 407.
So yes, there are houses under the 500, but listed right now, not many.
Right.
Um,
Anyway, we could actually pop right into. Let me see if I can do this.
yes, it is Bruno
Real
Linda.
estate.
Yes, basically, it's a near a $500,000 like market, and not a lot that are sitting around either. Nice, active, smart.
Yeah, let's go 600.
Yeah, well, and that's just it, Dylan. It's not like it's not like how much people are making have changed drastically. And it is turning into, to get in the market, you almost need a guaranteed dual income who can both be approved um,
Yeah,
for a home. Like, so 2 people with good credit.
yeah. So like this. So for people that aren't familiar, this is the back end of the MLS. This is the realtor version of the MLS system. So realtor.ca, any real estate website. This is what the real estate agents use. This is where we get all our data. This is where we get our historical data as well. So what I
Mhm.
did here was just a 300,000 to 600,000, all active listings in the Halifax Dartmouth area with a minimum of 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. And there's actually 154.
Go single families too, because this is
But yeah,
counting
because that's probably
condos.
counting condos as well.
It
So if we
is,
do
yeah.
type single, so 154, we drop down to 138.
20. And let's see the difference between, like, just go detached, and then we'll see semi-detached after.
So detached, there's 95,
95.
and then the semi detached 35. Townhouses we should add as well. So semi detached
4.
and
Yeah.
townhouses, you're at 49 active listings, which is
39. Yeah.
39, sorry,
Yeah.
which is actually pretty crazy. considering. I mean, your lowest price is $350 in Halifax. Your highest priced, this is semi-detaches at $600,000 in Herring Cove.
600 in Herring Cove. Wow.
That's a new construction, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
that's a brand new construction, which kind of makes sense.
so let's check the recent sales then on the same page and see what the recent sale prices are.
So sold.
And go for the last. You just go over the date range, like to the date range itself, and you can do a more proximity or a more. So go up to where you are, slide all the way over to the right where it says date range.
Yeah.
And then just pick like the last 6 months.
Okay. There we go.
So
let's take
a lot. Yeah. So that's a lot. Let's bring it. Put it even closer now. Instead of 6 months, bring it even to as recent as it lets you get.
Yeah, well, if I add detach, we're down to 335.
Mm-hmm. But like I say, if you go up to the 6 months, bring it to like this week or those last 7 days. So
this
year will be way a lot. So nothing this month. What do we got for weeks?
Last month there was 43 last month.
There we go.
Detached homes, single family, 3 bedroom minimum, 2 bath minimum, 300 to 600. Just Halifax, Dartmouth area.
If you look at the cost of making the house, hold on, Dylan. It is far less than what determine the market to support. Just having new homes, though, the cost of building a new home, it's generally, depending on where you are, can be upwards to $800,000.
Yeah.
Like I have somebody getting a brand new build now. Granted, it's it's in a higher scale area, but 800 all day to build a new home. First, you have to find somewhere where you can build it.
Yeah.
But if you can get a new build for under 450, I will ask you to show me how. And that's just. I feel like it went up when there was the cost of wood went up, and that was during COVID with the whole like no going over the border, all that. It hadn't changed. Like prices of wood didn't come down when that issue ended. And I feel like with the tariff sets, all this talk and this all being everywhere, the prices of wood's probably just going to go up. The price of wood goes up. The price of rock goes up. So does the price of homes.
Yeah.
And the market, unfortunately, Dylan, the market is always based on what people are willing to pay. If people didn't need to move, or if people weren't willing to pay a certain price, like the market would have to come down, which is why we have buyer and sellers markets. Is if we had a lot of product on the market, all of a sudden the price would drop drastically because there would be options. The lack of options is what keeps the prices high.
Yeah, supply and demand definitely is the biggest factor. It's I mean, building cost is a factor, but to me, it is the supply and the demand. It's you got 10 people looking to purchase a house, and there's only one house for sale. That price is going up regardless.
Are people veering towards new mini homes or tiny homes? I feel like in dealing with a few myself, with the lift of not allowed to have a mobile home or a tiny home or a mini home on certain lots. With that lifted, and basically you can put anything that's considered a home that can connect any of the services on. I find people are buying like mini homes and prefabs to be built a lot more because they are on the cheaper side, but you're paying for less square footage. Because like Dylan said, he's a big person. You're going to have a big family. You're not going to be able to be comfortable in these smaller homes that are what you can get for $350 right now for a new build.
No, I mean, especially the tiny homes, but a mini home, I mean, you're still looking 1,200 square feet plus for some of these mini homes, especially these newer mini homes.
Yeah.
They're actually quite spacious. Like where I'm in a mini home myself, it was actually ideal for me and my girlfriend because of the cost versus rent.
Yeah.
Our mortgage plus even our lease land that we pay everything in, we're paying less for this to own than we were renting
Yeah.
or we were going to rent for. Like it just made
So for
sense, and it
you, yeah, for you, it would make sense that if you owned your own land, if you already owned the land and it was somewhere you wanted, having a mini home built there, put there, would make sense for you, because then you wouldn't even have lot fees.
right. I mean, ideally, if we, I mean, we did bid on a couple mini homes that were on their own land. Ideally, like I think Dylan just made a comment there about, if you have a mini home, you can put a basement on them, under them.
Mhm.
Sorry, it just if you own your own land, and that was something I would do. I would start with the mini home and then expand on it, put the foundation in, put that on the foundation, then have my basement. Then I can add additions onto that if I needed, and if I had had the land to actually do it. But to me, like especially first time home buyers, don't disregard mini homes. Don't disregard these small homes. This is your chance to get in, get your foot in the door, build some equity, build some credit. Then you can look at two different options. You can look at either holding on to this first mini home and use it as a rental property to create some income for yourself. You'll have enough to cover all the expenses of that home. Plus, then when you go to purchase, you have an additional income on top of your current income, which the banks will love because they're going to say, oh, you have that much income. We'll give you X amount of dollars to go purchase your next home. It is a way to get your foot in the door into real estate. Too many people I've seen couples, like young couples, buying 4 or 5 bedroom houses. Why? Why? You have
Yeah.
no kids. It's just the two of you. Start small and climb the property ladder. That's what we were taught for decades.
Mm.
Start with the small house, buy or sell it or update it, renovate it, do whatever you want, sell it, go get your next house and climb that property ladder. People have now skipped that first time home buyer house because they see
Want
the
their
bells and the
forever home.
whistles. They want their forever home. 99% of the time, they don't stay in that home forever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. And I've been
Yeah.
doing this too long and seen too many mistakes and conversations, and I'm actually have meant have I've I'm not afraid to say, "Don't buy this house," and this is why.
Yeah. Well, there's also the whole fact that it's not like it was even when my first time I got in the early 2000s, where you could not get a bank or very few banks would finance a mini home. Like they're like, nope, there was no profit in it for them really. It was just a dangerous way for a bank to lend out a mortgage. Now you actually have options. You can get mini homes through a mortgage because you're still like paying a good amount.
Mhm.
Yeah, we actually, Linda, we covered
Yeah,
the whole using it.
secondary.
Yeah, using it as having two people coming in to buy something to keep a cost down. Yeah, that was one of the things we not only covered that with Chantal, we covered it today, but it is
Yeah,
again something worth coming back to. Is
mhm,
if you're buying a place, buy it knowing that you might have to rent part of it out.
yeah,
It actually happened all the time in downtown Halifax for people who wanted to live in downtown Halifax. They would block out the stairs to the basement, turn it into a basement apartment, and do all their main living upstairs, bring a laundry up to their main floor, and left the downstairs for tenants. And it's again, it works with families. I've known of siblings who have bought homes together.
yeah,
Again, you can make a house can have its divisions, but what's happening is when you're looking for families and stuff like that, if you have kids, if the people have kids, a lot of people are worried about, will they like the people who are renting,
Mm.
or will that, like, again, I my first home, I had every room rented out. It was me and all of my friends, like, because that's what we had to do to get out of our parents' house.
Yeah.
And eventually that led to me being able to live elsewhere or travel and live elsewhere, but it gave
Yeah.
me the money I needed to do the next step.
Yeah.
Yes. Dylan, the idea of to buy the other half of your semi-detached and turning it into a big single unit. I have had that idea so many times in my life. Pluses and minuses, you'll end up with a more expensive and larger home for yourself. The downside is you've now taken away a property from the market. There
Yeah.
will Someone will not be able to buy that other half to live in it. But again, is what it comes down to, is it your responsibility to worry about where other people are living? But it is fun to think about. The other thing you'd mentioned too, Dylan, and I actually like this, is right now there's less land because of building stuff like a bunch of, like, not mini home parks, but like leased land. Which usually, when you're buying a leased land home, it's a mini home that's on it, and that all brings it down to, is developing out going to continue to be sustainable, or do we need to build up and maybe put more condos on the market, like build more condo buildings with a stack of an upwards instead of a side spread? Because does everybody want, and even if you want your own single family home, is that the place to start? Like you were
Yeah.
saying, do you start with a condo and know you own something, build your equity and all of this, and then eventually move out of the city and have your land and your, or do you just
It,
keep building?
yeah. Everybody's needs, wants, likes, dislikes are going to change, right? I had clients that were in their 20s, a couple that were in their 20s, that you think in your 20s you want a single family house. They wanted a condo. They did not want to have anything to do with lawn care, snow removal, anything. They were comfortable in their apartment style condo. Um, and from what I heard, I sold that to them like 12 years ago. Last I heard, they were still in it. Like,
Well, again, it's a lifestyle. Do you not have
it is.
pets? Do you like to travel? Like, you don't want to travel, 3 months of the year and have come home to having to mow your lawn and make sure your house. And the other thing is too, is like insurance for that kind of stuff. Oh, semi-detached need to join the lots because two PIDs. Uh, Linda and Dylan have their own conversation going.
They do, yeah.
Mom, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna have to
the
sit
other
down and
issue I
have you
was
talk to Dylan someday.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, with that whole if you bought a semi-detached and then converted it to a single family, like, I think you're what Linda's saying is, like, you got 2 PIDs, you're paying 2
Yeah, you're
property
paying
taxes.
taxes. Yeah, you'd have to
Um,
merge them if the city approves it, or
right.
suck it up and pay the extra property tax, which I don't think would be affordable.
No, no,
A group pool for maintenance. Yeah, each one of your kids are paying a different amount.
yeah. The other issue, I mean, and I know my dad is the big one and that has issues with condos is, those unexpected fees.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At least, like, if you own something and you're renting it, 90% of the time, if a maintenance issue comes up, your tenant is paying for it, not you. If you've done your books right, you've put the money aside, and you take X amount of money from every rent check that you receive, when that dishwasher blows, when that roof needs to be replaced, when that
You have
washer or
money set
dryer needs to be
aside.
replaced, your tenant is actually paying for it and not yourself.
Yeah. And
Versus
that's
if you're
if
in a
you include it.
condo,
Like, yeah.
well, yeah, but versus if you're in a condo and those special assessments come up because they need a new heating system, they need a new roof. I mean, some of these retirees that are living in condos on fixed incomes all of a sudden get this $10,000 assessment or special assessment bill that they have to pay. It can be very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, which is also why when moving into a condo, if you are thinking of moving
Yes.
into a condo, have your real estate agent look at the financials, have them
And the
show you
lawyers.
the
And your lawyers.
financials. Like, make sure you know that they're there. You know if there's a special assessment coming. You know if there's money set aside. Like, yeah,
Reserve
make
funds.
sure,
Make
yeah,
sure there's
reserve funds
a
for
healthy
sure.
reserve fund in any
Yeah.
condo building that you're looking at.
Or just expect to be paying a little extra.
Yeah, special assessments, Dylan, is it's something that not many people know about. Like it's it can come out of the blue, especially
Mhm.
if somebody's not really paying attention, if they're not on the board. I had a client. It was an estate sale, so I was dealing with the son who lived on Ontario. They didn't have all the communication that about the condo, and on after the sale they found out there was a special assessment that they were notified about prior to the sale that they ended up having to deal with. Thankfully it was dealt with by the lawyers. But yeah, if like you said, that condo borders can be a fiasco, and you really got to dive into it, and there are some protection, but there's not always a lot of protection. So you got to really, if you're looking at purchasing a condo, make sure you're going through the financials and everything, reserve fund information with a fine tooth comb.
Oops, it disappeared. Sorry, everyone. Wow, this I honestly didn't think we were gonna drag an hour out of this. To be honest, like I thought we were gonna be like a bunch of like back and forth and seeing what we could get. But wow, Dylan and Linda for a
We owe
big
you guys a coffee or
big
lunch or something.
participation here. We appreciate that. But thanks, Dylan. But yeah, so again, we'll just do a quick wrap up here of what we did go over. Everything from um, like new tenancy rules coming up, military. We have a thing coming up soon where we're going to have an over the pint with somebody with military postings, and if you're with the military, why we're pretty decent to use. Um, and yeah, more shenanigans with Jim and Eric always coming at you.
We have a little background with military.
We do. We got one or two things. But
Yeah, so yeah, make sure we have our community game plan shenanigans with Jim and Eric, our podcast, which is on all podcasting sites, so Apple and Spotify. Check that out. We are planning to take April off of the actual podcast. We're going to take some time to focus on the business and get some stuff done for us. And I'm also away for 5 days coming up tomorrow. So tune into that coming back May. We are going to start back up on the regular podcast in May, and hopefully over a pint we can get our schedules organized enough that we'll do this more regular,
yeah,
uh, and we might even do this more often. Just jump on randomly. We will have some scheduled times with guests that we'll advertise prior, but we might even just do this. This was actually fun.
this is, and again, is if anybody, like I said, you want to jump on, you want to share some of your information or knowledge, or you have something to say, something you're trying to just get the community to know about, anything going on, reach out to us. We would be happy to have you on Over a Pint, and if all goes well, who knows, we might get you on the community game plan as well.
Yep.
But yeah, so
Right.
thanks, appreciate y'all, and that's it for Jim and Eric over a pint.
Excellent. I'm going to end us here, and we'll see you all very shortly. Thanks again for joining us. No, I don't want that. Just end.